she okay? She's in Overwood? Did she have
I went by the house. Somebody was there working in the backyard. I have not heard anything.
Okay, we're going to call the 12th meeting of this year to order. The Village Board of Trustees in the Village of Depew, August 26th, 2024. And we're at 7:03. The pledge by Trustee Kraft.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing for a second. Within the chambers of our being resides a wellspring of untapped potential, a reservoir of strength that knows no bounds. May we, with unswerving resolve, recognize our capacity to create change, both within the tapestries of our personal lives and in the world beyond. Let empowerment become the anthem that propels us towards a brighter, more compassionate future. Thank you. Notification of fire exits, please.
Emergency exits are located to my left in the rear of the room. In the event of an alarm or emergency, please move in an orderly fashion to the exits and evacuate the building.
Roll call.
Trustee Hammerneck. Trustee Zimba.
Here.
Trustee Kraft.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Here.
And Mayor Peterson.
Here. First item up tonight, approve the board meeting minutes from the July 12th, 2024 meeting.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption, that we approve the board meeting minutes from July 12, 2024.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried. Next up is to approve the planning board meeting minutes from May 2nd, 2024.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that we approve the planning board meeting minutes from May 2nd, 2024. Number one, Tim Arlington on behalf of Tom and Christine Schuster for the property located at 360 Gould Avenue, Depew, New York 14043, requesting concept approval for a 4,500 square foot building. Granted, with stipulations. Consider turning the building zoning board of appeals requirements, snow storage, dumpster storage, lighting, finishing the fence on the far side.
Second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried.
Number two, Brian and Dane Lorenk for the property located at 3100 Walden Avenue, Depew, New York 14043, requesting approval to construct a 40 by 48 foot pole barn. Granted, with stipulations, combining parcels, fenced-in yard, dark sky lighting, no outside storage of materials.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried. Okay, tonight we got a couple of big things on the agenda. We're going to spend some money, we're going to hire some people. First off, we have on our agenda, item number one is the termination, end of season for the summer seasonal recreation employees that kept our parks staffed and our pools with lifeguards and cashiers. Next up, permission for Code Enforcement Officer Don Battlefield to attend the Western Southern Tier Building Association's Educational Conference, September 11th to the 13th in Dunkirk. Use of village vehicle is authorized. Resolution number 3 is a 2-for-1 special. We get to appoint a new police captain tonight and also a new school resource officer. Number 4, approve the seeker type 2 determination for some of the items that were, some of the work that we're going to be doing here in the next couple of weeks. That includes the capital improvements to the local fire department, buildings at Meridian and Brewster, as well as the concrete driveway pads for all 3 of the fire stations, a replacement backup generator for our DPW, and a replacement boiler for the North Side Fire Station. Next up, item number 5, accept the resignation of one of our police officers. 6 is award the bid for the roof replacement on the north side and on the south side fire stations. Next up is award a bid for the driveway concrete replacements on all 3 of the fire stations. Just as an example, I mean, those were poured when the buildings were built in the 60s, and there's numerous large chunks of it out, and becomes a hazardous liability. As we noticed previous to Ken Pick being superintendent DPW, we had Ken Mazurek put in, and their team there put in asphalt to cover some of the holes. And then also, since that time, has been where the doors met the concrete pad at each of the entrances. There was a trip hazard there as well. So we're going to finally get that taken care of. These are projects that have been kicked down the road over the years, just as back in 2019, the roof and the heating and air conditionings on the senior center and the windows in the police were all big improvements that were much needed. Next up is approve the bond resolution for those driveways. Number 9 is approve the bond resolution for the various equipment, which was what,
The generator.
generator? Do we have the ice rink compressor too on this, or no?
No,
No, not yet.
that's going with,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So- And number 10 was approve the bond resolution for the boiler at the north side. We received, we received a couple applications for rec and DPW, but those 10 items, if somebody has any comments on any of those 10 items, we could use the time right now to address the board with any questions on those first 10 items.
Dave Burker, 501 Lee. The bond resolutions, what's the total for all 3 of them together?
What was the question again?
The bonds we're going to take out for the driveway and the
roofs?
equipment and the boiler. How much total would that be?
There'll be 4 altogether. The amounts that we have in there are a little bit higher than what some of the bids have come out. I
So
think it's
$302,600 was the roofs on the 2 fire halls, north and south side.
165, I believe.
169
Yeah, for the concrete.
was all the concrete work.
We're estimating about 80,000 for the generator and about 40 in total for the boiler.
No, how much does the village have in there in the reserve fund?
Just under 4 million?
I believe so.
Would it be cheaper? I'm sure you must have looked at it, but just taking it out of the reserve fund?
Not at this time, no.
No.
Yeah, we only bonded in 2019 when I first became mayor. And typically, I don't want to have more than 1 year that we do bonding. So this will be the first time in my second term that we're bonding money.
And how long is the bond going to be for? Is it like 10 or 15
5
years?
years on the roof and the concrete.
We have to put it out to and work with Municipal Solutions. I believe these ones were going a little bit longer than the 5 years. We did 5 for the utility vehicle.
All right. And this is still cheaper than just taking it out, not cheaper, but I mean, you figure it's better to do the bonding than just taking it out of the reserve fund?
Right. I mean, the utility truck, as I stated when we first started looking at it, is being paid for eventually in interest. So it's money that our money made money on. However, we had to do a bond for it. But we have nearly 200,000 of the 300 for the utility truck at this time. So, we're still working on the terms.
Yeah.
I'm a very simple guy. Okay, so when we have money in the bank that's earning interest,
Right.
I look at that number and I said, I'd like to take that number and pay towards that. However, it doesn't always work that way when we're dealing with municipal bonds.
Right.
So we're having a little bit of a discussion when it comes to that, because I'd like to see it So that, okay, here's 189,000, we only owe 111,000 on that utility bill. So the money that I'm really considering that is bonded is for capital improvements, things that we can't go longer and have chief Mucilacs firefighters with tarps hanging in, above their gear.
Oh, yeah, no,
So we have to get done on that.
right.
And the concrete, as an example, in my opinion, when I sat here last week and listened to the bid openings, I was very happy to know it was 169,000 for all three of the concretes, including the one in the back of the west end, which was a new piece. So that was a great price.
And what building is the generator going to go for?
Generators for the DPW.
Oh, okay.
They're currently using a generator that was here at Village Hall, and when this one got replaced 20 years ago,
Yeah.
you got it,
We got it secondhand there, so it's time.
it's time.
And we had an issue for one of the storms where the generator went down.
Right
And if
before-
DPW goes down, then the whole village.
We go
goes
down, I mean,
We can't pump fuel.
fuel for anybody, no gas for anybody,
Oh,
no
wow. Now, is this like a generator type thing, a gas-powered generator? Or-
natural gas, yes.
I just never thought that they were only good for so many years. I thought those things lasted forever.
No, this has been on, for a
Yeah.
while now.
We can no longer, so that's why we're combining it into this one time. Not to say I won't come back to you in the next 2.5 years I'm here and have to borrow money again, but we're pretty judicious when it comes to how we use the money.
I go to the Cheektowaga Town Board meetings, and they band everything. And,
Yeah, and I know there's a big debate as to whether or not
Right.
to bond or not, but anything that we're bonding is generally considered long-term capital improvements. We're not bonding for streets. Kenny and his crew use the money that we get from the state for that, so.
all right, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions from our audience? All right, seeing that there is none. Item number 1, approve the termination of our summer rec help.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, employment for the Recreation Department's summer seasonal employees will end on the following dates per the attached list. Park attendants, 8/7/2024. Cashiers, 8/18/2024. Lifeguards, 8/18/2024.
I second the motion.
I need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zimba,
Yes.
trustee Kraft,
Yes.
deputy mayor Adolph,
Yes.
and Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Resolution number 2, permission for the building department to attend a conference.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, permission is hereby granted to Code Enforcement Officer Donald Bielefeld to attend the Western Southern Tier Building Officials Education Conference on September 11th through the 13th, 2024, Dunkirk, New York, 14048. Use of a village vehicle is authorized.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried. Resolution number 3, appoint new police captain and school resource officer. Pursuant to Section 4-400 of Village Law, I, Mayor Kevin Peterson, do hereby appoint Corey Skoke to the position of police captain effective September 1st, 2024. He's being promoted under Police Captain Eligibility List 74-295. And pursuant to Section 4-400 of Village Law, I, Mayor Kevin Peterson, do hereby appoint Robert Utz to the position of School Resource Officer effective September 1st, 2024. I need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zimba,
Yes.
trustee Kraft,
Yes.
deputy mayor Adolph,
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Okay, Chief McNamara, would you like to do the honors with your new people?
Sure.
You know, a little photo op, maybe?
I'm sorry?
A little photo op or something?
Yes.
Congratulations to our new captain, Corey Stokes. And And also to Robert Utz, our new school resource officer. So gentlemen, Captain Scope, a little bit of your background for everybody?
Yeah, I've been here for 15 years. Yeah, I've been a lieutenant for 4 years now. The administrative lieutenant for 3 years. Been heavily involved in training, FTO, firearms training. Yeah, just looking forward to continuing on with all that and taking on a lot more duties, obviously, in my new role. And just looking forward to the challenges that I have.
And you have the support of your family. I know,
Yeah.
ladies, I remember seeing you when you were yay high. Take good care of Dad, all right? And Robert?
Yeah, I just want to thank the chief for the opportunity. I've been here 20 years, been on the road 20 years. So just looking forward to a new chapter in my career here and looking forward to getting started in school.
You get to hang out with the dog over there?
Apparently they have a dog, yes.
Yes.
I have to meet the dog, but
Yes.
they have it,
Yeah, I think I know from SRO Hosfeld, it was a rewarding experience being over there.
Yeah, I got big shoes to fill. There's all like over there, so
Are you going to be our new fire investigator too?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thanks.
And just,
Resolution number 4. This would be approve the seeker type 2 determination for the DPW and the fire hall improvements.
Unless you passionately care about the State Environmental Quality Review Act, you can feel free to leave. Feel free to stay. We'd love to have you, but wouldn't be rude if you left after the event.
There's not too much to read today.
No, I didn't draft this one.
This is a shortened version. Who's up?
Yeah.
Trustee Kraft?
I'll let the kids get out of here.
Oh.
Congratulations.
The best part is yet to come.
I was going to sneak out.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas the Village of Depew Village is considering various capital improvements at the local fire halls and Village DPW property. Improvements include replacement of the roof systems at 45 Meridian Street and 112 Brewster Street, concrete driveway pad replacements at 2325 George Urban Boulevard, 45 Meridian Street, and 112 Brewster Street, and replacement of a backup power generator in kind at the Depew DPW, and boiler replacement at 112 Brewster Street. Whereas, after comparing the thresholds in 6 NYCRR 617.4 and 617.5 under seeker, the village has determined that the proposed improvements meet the definition of a type 2 action involving the maintenance, repair, and replacement of existing facilities involving no substantial changes to existing facilities. Now therefore be it resolved that as a type 2 action under seeker, the project has been found categorically to not have significant adverse impacts on the environment and no further review under seeker is required.
I second the motion.
And a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 5, accept the resignation of one of our police officers.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, make the following resolution and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the resignation of Harry Hartman, police officer, effective August 29th, 2024, is accepted.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 6, award a bid for the roof replacement project.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be resolved that upon the recommendation of the village engineer, the bid for the fire department roof replacement project from the bid opening August 8, 2024, and the bid amount of $302 and $302,600 will be awarded to Action Roofing, Inc., 10267 Crump Road, Glenwood, New York, 14069.
I second the motion.
A roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried. There is a Scribner's on the bid opening date. That date was the
Last week.
22nd.
For number 6 or number 7?
Huh?
For this one or the list?
Yes, for this one. For the new one coming up, the driveway
This is
replacement.
agenda item number 7.
Yeah.
So award the bid for the fire department driveway replacements.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the village engineer, the bid for the fire department driveway replacement project from the bid opening August 22nd, 2024, in the bid amount of $169,650 be awarded to Masters Edge, Inc., 3409 Broadway Street, Buffalo, New York, 14227.
I second the motion.
A roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
This is the one we'll do a shortened version, right?
Yes, well, three times in a row.
Yeah. Agenda item number 8 is to approve the bond resolution for the driveways.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution and move for its adoption. A bond resolution dated August 26, 2024, of the Village of Board of Trustees of the Village of Depew, Erie County, New York, the Village, authorizing a capital improvements project consisting of driveway improvements at various fire halls in the village at an estimated maximum cost of $220,000, and authorizing the issuance of serial bonds in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $220,000, pursuant to the local finance law to finance such purpose. Such amount to be offset by any federal, state, county, and/or local funds received, and delegating the power to issue bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the sale of such bonds to the village treasurer. Whereas the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Depew in the County of Erie, New York, parentheses, the village, close parentheses, desires to undertake a capital improvements project consisting of driveway improvements at various fire halls in the village. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the board, by the favorable vote of not less than 2/3 of all members of the Board of Trustees, as follows. Full language is available in the agenda packet.
I second the motion.
May a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
And that's carried.
Agenda item 9, approve the bond resolution for various equipment.
Honorable Mayor and Board Trustees, I make the following resolution and move for its adoption. A bond resolution dated August 26, 2024, of the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Depew, Erie County, New York, parentheses, the Village, authorizing the acquisition of equipment and apparatus at the Department of Public Works Building in the village at an estimated maximum cost of $85,000, and authorizing the issuance of serial bonds in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $85,000, pursuant to the local finance law to finance said purpose. Said amount to be offset by any federal, state, county, and/or local funds received, and delegating the power to issue bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the sale of such bonds to the village treasurer. Whereas the Village Board of Trustees has identified a need for the acquisition of equipment and apparatus at the Department of Public Works Building in the village. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Depew in the County of Erie, New York, parentheses, the village, close parentheses, parentheses, by the favorable vote of not less than 2/3 of all members of the Board of Trustees, close parentheses, as follows. Full language is available on agenda packet.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
That's carried.
Third one, trustee Z, this is for the boiler at the north side.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution and move for its adoption. A bond resolution dated August 26, 2024, of the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Depew, Erie County, New York, parentheses, the Village, close parentheses, authorizing the acquisition of a new boiler for the use at the 112 Brewster Street Fire Hall location at an estimated maximum cost of $40,000, and authorizing the issuance of serial bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $40,000, pursuant to the local finance law to finance said purchase. Said amount to be offset by any federal, state, county, and/or local funds received, and delegating the power to issue bond anticipation notes in the anticipation of the sale of such bonds to the village treasurer. Whereas the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Depew in the County of Erie, New York, parentheses, the Village, close parentheses, has identified a need for the acquisition of a new boiler for use at the Brewster Street Fire Hall location. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Village Board of Trustees of the Village, parentheses, by favorable vote of not less than 2/3 of all members of the board, close parentheses, as follows. Full language is available on agenda packet.
I second the motion.
A roll call vote, please?
Trustee Zimba.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Adolph.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes.
And that is carried.
And it's just worth noting on the record that buried in agenda item 8, 9, and 10 are secret negative declarations. So if you want to read the contents of that in the available documents, you can, but it's worth noting on the record.
Okay. Number 11 tonight, employment applications were received in our rec department by Cassia Zolkowski and our DPW by Paul Hemsley. There's no department head reports at tonight's meeting, no unfinished and other business. Before we get to comments, any comments and concerns, we'll first go to our guest, Elizabeth Brinkworth from Monica Wallace and her 143rd Assembly District.
Thank you, Mayor and Trustees. Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Brinkworth, and I'm Chief of Staff for New York State Assembly Member Monica Wallace. Today, the member was busy with the Mayor, fellow trustees, and Chief Musilak at a press event here with U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. Exciting news where she announced she got funding for the local fire department, so congratulations on that achievement. The Assembly member also wishes to congratulate the Village of Depew on being named the Buffalo Business First winner of the Large Hub. So congratulations on having a great housing stock, education, diverse equity, employment, income, seniors, growth, stability, and transportation. Those were the numbers that were factored in and got this awesome achievement. So
We were number 3 last year.
I know.
We moved up a little bit.
You moved up quite a bit.
And tried to get the article to publish it is crazy. I signed on for a membership and I still can't get it. But appreciate you bringing that up.
Absolutely. It shows your hard work the past couple of years, so good job. The Assembly member this weekend sponsored an event in coordination with the nonprofit Fantastic Friends of Western New York. They held a fun little event at Southline. They had a bubble foam pit and some playground activities for the kids. So it was great to kind of wrap up summer here as we're getting ready for school. And it's hard to believe this weekend's Labor Day. So that was exciting to see all the youth in the community come together with those of, varying needs and disabilities. The Assembly member also visited the Village of Sloan last week, where she announced a $10,000 grant she was able to get. This allows them to do their summer concert series, so we were excited to make that announcement at their final concert for the summer. The Assembly member also has been quite active in terms of reviewing her golden parachute legislation. She's been out in front of the media regarding off-track betting and just some severance packages that have happened. So she and Senator Ryan have been working with the Investigator General's office, just reviewing some severance pay that has come into the news recently. In terms of issues we're working on, quite varying here. We have easy pass issues that, seem to come around with everyone traveling. If anyone has an issue with a bill or concerned that their license plate was misread, feel free to give us a call. Sometimes that does happen. Unemployment issues, feel free to give us a call, send us an email, and we will respond accordingly. So, thank you.
We also got some money for our police department, correct?
Yes, we did. We are working on a burn grant right now, so working with Assembly Ways and Means and getting that paperwork going.
Okay. And
I have had no luck with Office of...
OCFS?
Yeah.
Okay. I will make some phone calls and emails then tomorrow, so see what's going on.
Yeah, because I've emailed our case person and left numerous messages. And,
nothing else.
yeah.
Is there any paperwork you submitted?
Not yet,
Okay.
because I didn't know what they needed for sure. I'm just trying to get even to that first step.
Got it.
And I got a call back.
Did you get an award letter?
Yes.
Can you send me a copy of it, and I might be able to get the documents going that way?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And one more thing.
Thank you.
I appreciate how quickly you reacted to my email, one of our residents, about the high cost on their electric bills. And you shared a couple of things with me, because people think it's their meter, people think it's the Public Service Commission rate hikes. You shared a little bit on public record here with the percentages you gave me. Didn't you have, do you remember? It was like over the last 3 years, there's been rate increases.
Yes. Hopefully I'm not misquoting here. The first rate hike went into effect of November of last year, and I can't remember if that was
Here, I got it.
the 10%.
See, I had heard from some of the social media stuff, there was a 62% increase, but you broke it down that there was a 10.3% in November of last year, 8.4% in May of this year, which would only be affecting what people are complaining about now, and then there's another 9.9% in May of next year.
Yes,
That's what you
that's
gave me.
my understanding based on the Public Service Commission.
Okay. So I appreciate you at least looking into that for a resident, and then whatever comes out about that, then we can certainly share that with others.
Absolutely.
Are you
No.
getting a lot of that?
We have gotten a few emails. I'm not sure what level you're getting, given everything that's going on with the smart readers and everyone's trying to navigate that with the energy usage and just with
Yeah.
the rate hikes also kind of happening when the smart readers were put into effect. But what we do is we just do intake. We kind of get a sense of what's going on with the constituent, get their information, and then we work with our contact over at NYSEG and we process them with the claims because NYSEG prefers to deal with it directly, but we just make sure that the constituent is essentially like it's closed case. Like NYSEG reviews it, gets in touch with them, walks them through what the issue is, or if there's an ability to resolve the matter.
Okay. Thank you very much, Liz.
Thank you.
And I know we have Bob Brandon from our congressman office. I appreciate you being here, Bob. It was nice to see the congressman today as well. We'll go to our department heads. DPW, Ken Pick.
Not too much. Paving is completed for the season. We're gonna be pouring concrete for the dugouts. 2 new dugouts at Fireman's Park tomorrow, and then construction will begin shortly after that.
Okay.
So that's about all I have.
Recreation, Kevin Ferguson.
Pretty good year at the pool. We averaged about 350, 360 members a month, so I thought it was pretty good. Didn't have any issues really. A couple minor accidents, but my lifeguards were really good. Probably the best year for my lifeguards. They were really right on top of everything, so it was really nice. I also want to thank Kenny Pick and his guys. Bullet Zambonis were taken down to DPW. They're all tuned up and ready to go for when the rink opens up.
You really had 23 lifeguards this year? That's what I count on this thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, yeah, it was good too, because you know what, we kept the numbers down low.
because I had a lot of people that could only work a couple days, and a couple of those people were key people, and I did need them, so it really worked out well.
Good. Great. Kate, over in Building Department, Code Enforcement?
Okay, so a lot of you probably drove by today, but the old Hidden Shamrock is getting a facelift currently, like today. Just took down all the old siding, putting up new siding shortly, so it won't be so much of an eyesore anymore. It actually looks better. The new O'Reilly's Auto Parts is coming along. The foundation and the floor and a lot of the underground work are done. The site is pretty clean and work is progressing well. And we're looking forward to switching gears from grass cutting to snow removal. So snowplow permits will probably start issuing those in the end of September. Notices will be going out soon.
All right, thank you. Chief McNamara, PD?
Yeah, it's been a good summer, going out with a bang here, very busy, specifically our detective bureau. So it's good to get to see some of these promotions. The competition was thick for both the captain position and the school resource officer. So school's starting up in a week or so here. So Officer Utz will be over there, and it'll be good to get Captain Skoke into the administrative so we can get fire on all cylinders. So that's it.
Okay. Other side of the table, Chief Musilak from Fire.
Good evening, everyone. We had 15 calls since our last board meeting, 243 year-to-date. It's been pretty busy lately. Firefighters, we've been out there, not only numerous amounts of calls, but also training. Obviously, summertime's busy time of year for training for us with live fire, along with many a public relation events as well. So very proud of our members in our department and the summer that we've had. Also, we recently received a grant through AFG, which is a federal grant. It's the second year in a row that we've received a grant. Those funds for this grant year were $32,879, and that was specifically to replace our gear extractor, which is for lack of better words, a washing machine for fire gear at our Northside Fire Station. There sits our original washer that we had, which was from 1996 during past Chief Strominger's term. So it's just, when it breaks down, it's expensive to repair and it's hard to find parts. So we were looking to get that replaced, along with buying some gear drying systems, so that when we wash the contaminated gear, that we can have a quicker turnaround for our members with their turnout gear, so that they're not missing fire calls when the next call comes in. That dry time's gonna be cut in half. So it's gonna be very helpful. And on top of that, the numbers are out there. We didn't know this years ago, but firefighters that are much higher risk to develop some sort of occupational cancer throughout their career as a firefighter. So we try to do the best we can to limit exposure as much as possible. We can't get rid of it altogether, but we limit it as much as we possibly can by washing the gear and keeping it clean, along with all our equipment and apparatus, and hopefully that helps. I will say, since the new cancer bill's been put into place since 2018, we've had 7 firefighters that have been diagnosed with some sort of occupational cancer. So it's out there. So that money will come into great use. Also, just a reminder, it's hard to believe, but Labor Day is upon us. We still have nice weather now, but that could change in the next couple months. Now would be the time to start thinking about getting your chimneys and cleaned for your fireplaces and your wood stoves if you have them and you plan on using them, so that we don't end up with a chimney fire or worse. So we encourage that to be done, in the fall months before the cooler weather starts coming. You want to fire it up for the first time. And just congratulations to, I know they left, but nonetheless, to Captain Skoke on his promotion, and also SRO Utz on his promotion. Both those gentlemen worked with him for many years, side by side, fire department and PD, and
They're both great resources to our village and our police department, and I'm sure they'll do a fine job.
Okay. Attorney Sam Alva?
Hi, everyone. I was just texting my chimney person. Thanks for the reminder. Not too much to report. I'll be putting a lot of notices of appearance in on all of the tax certiorari cases that come in. There's only a few this year. And it's fortunately been a bit quiet. Chief and I are working on some FOIL requests. It seems to be popular to request every police record that's ever been created these days, so we know how to respond to that. And, we'll get something out. Trustee Zamba did everything right. I told him to just read those resolutions the way he did, and I missed the seeker, which typically I've seen those as separate resolutions, so that was my bad, my oversight. But I'm glad we got it on the record, and I can't wait to hear what Paul Sprata has to say tonight. Okay. That's about it for me.
All right. Trustee Z?
The village will be hosting its 4th annual e-waste recycling drive, free to all residents. That is September 28th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here in the Village Hall parking lot. All accepted items are as follows. Limit of 3 TVs per vehicle. Computers, monitors, printers, keyboards, video game systems, phones, tablets. We will get this on the village website with Regina's help tomorrow. What we don't accept are refrigerators, dehumidifiers, microwaves, smoke detectors, alkaline batteries, or light bulbs. But it is free to all village residents and those outside the village as well. But again, September 28th, 2024, 9 to 2 p.m. And then I also want to wish everybody here and all the village residents a happy Labor Day. All labor is honorable, whether you're policing our streets, plowing our streets, or a lifeguard at the pools. Remember that all labor is honorable, and if you want to come on Labor Day, you're looking for something to do, find the Teamster tent at Cazenovia Park around 12:30 p.m. I'll get you something to eat, something to drink. Come see me
Sausage and hot
celebrate.
dogs and things.
We'll have everything.
All right.
Sausage, hot dogs, we'll have it all.
All right.
Thank you.
Our village administrator, Regina?
We are still working on our fall festivals, September 21st. Blanked on that. Looking for vendors, so if you know anybody that would like to participate, but we are going to use all of Fireman's Park that day. So come out and enjoy the pickleball courts, some ice skating. We'll have some great music provided by Grace Stumberg, food, beverages, and, possibly,
Sausage from our fire department.
yeah, the fire department. is gonna
I think
be
the
working.
highlight's gonna be Sam playing music.
I may open for Grace Strumper.
Okay.
Regina, you're gonna have the pumpkins available as well?
We are going to try.
Okay.
Yep.
Sam Strum bad.
Okay. We'll talk more about your band. Trustee Kraft?
Good luck to everybody going back to school next week. I'm counting down the hours.
You are counting down the hours?
It's been the simultaneously shortest and longest summer of my life. Yeah, looking forward to Fall Fest. We'll have some kids' activities. My husband will probably do the face painting. We'll have a couple of games. I think that's it.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Adolph?
Just continuing on Fall Fest, I think we still have spots for vendors available. So if you are a vendor, please reach out.
The fee is waived.
Yep, waiving the fee this year so that we can fill up the park and provide ample opportunity for the village to enjoy the wonderful day that it is going to be sunny on.
They say it's going to be sunny, 76.
Can't wait.
Okay.
We have to have one non-rain event.
I know. One of these years it won't rain.
Okay. We've gone around the room. Everybody's had a chance to talk. Anybody would like to
Yeah.
comment on anything?
But
Dave Burkhart, come on up. Come on down.
I just heard one thing, actually for Kenny. The grate in my yard towards, on the wall that side, towards the back of my house, it dips down, you can't miss it. it looks like somebody took the grate, and so,
In the road?
no, it's right in the grass, the middle of the grass, between the sidewalk and the curb. There's a dip, and there was always a grate there, and you guys had come and cleaned it out once, but it looks like somebody actually took the grate, and I got kids, I hear them at night coming along, and if they don't stay on the sidewalk, some little kid's liable to fall and break his leg in that thing.
Check it out.
It's like I said, it's right between the curb and the sidewalk, and you can't miss it. There's a dip, and it's towards like the back of my house, you know, that one right there.
Is that in the grass, in the right of
Right
way?
in the grass. I try to keep it mowed and cleaned up in that area, but I have a tough time kneeling down now, so it's.
Yeah, sure.
But, I look down and the grate is gone. I don't see the grate, so it just goes right down, and I'm afraid some little kid's gonna get hurt. I think.
Thank you, Dave. Mr. Corigliano?
Dominic Brigliano, 5230 Transit Road. I brought in 3 sections of packets for everybody, probably more than I needed.
I saw that on my desk.
But I wanted to show a clear picture of the problem that was going on.
So, do you have a packet?
I do not have that packet.
Yeah, I'll give you mine.
I thought I handed out enough of them. Just real briefly, I've been in that location for 25 years. My family takes pride in all our buildings there. 2019, when the restaurant burned, I chose to rebuild it, making it look better than before. Some people thought it was going to come down. Later, we put a new front on the office building. 15 years ago, we moved an eyesore house that was on a transit road from its previous condition to get it back into a better location. The problem I have right now is my property is probably the only one with a higher elevation on the whole block. The sidewalk that's there going across our driveway is at the middle of the hill rather than the bottom of the hill, which I feel would be a better possibility. The driveways, all driveways meet the street at the same elevation, but being at halfway up the hill, it makes it a real problem. If the village can correct the sidewalk, I would take care of the necessary blacktop. Currently I met with Don once. He seen from the street that I had 2 empty apartments facing South Bellevue. My tenants complain about noise during the night. It's hard to re-rent apartments when they look at the area. My family's managed rental property for 3 generations. We take pride in trying to make things nice there. I think the sidewalk could have turned out a lot different than it did, which would have improved a lot of the situations. We've been dealing with it 2 winters, and dealing with it a 3rd winter is going to be next to impossible. I talked to Rick Colburn over the weekend. I understand he's not working for the village at this time. He wasn't in favor of eliminating pine trees to continue the sidewalk to the corner. His opinion was it'd been making more of an eyesore for people to look at.
We're talking about the property behind the Depew property.
Yeah, looking north in my way, yeah. My opinion is the best way to do it, and it's my opinion. I spoke to Ken briefly. He got back to me. I didn't go over everything with him, but it was nice that he got back to me. He's helped me out in the past when they left some stuff messy. That's one of the pictures I showed. I understand he's able to work within his means to do what he can do, but in my opinion, if the sidewalk was removed south of my property and ran closer to the street, straight out to Cayuga, it'd be one straight run. It would cross my driveway in an even path, and it'd be nice and smooth and easy. I wrote something up simple. I just wanted to explain it before I handed this out to everybody, but it'd be the simplest thing. I would take care of any blacktop repair that would need to get done if the village took care of the sidewalk issue. I don't know if we have enough copies here.
I can look on with Andrew.
Pardon me?
I can look on with Andrew.
Thank you. If I can feel any part of me. So, I'm not trying to make it a big issue, but, we try to take pride in what we got going on there, and the way it is now, it is a problem. I've been there a long time. I've done a lot of stuff there. Not to hand you out a lot of paperwork. This is what the Thai house looked like when I got there. It looked like an overgrown thing. You can't even recognize a building right there. So we've taken stuff a long ways from where it used to be. We've done a lot there, and I just like to see things turn out a little bit closer to a usable situation. Again, if they took care of that, I don't think we need to look at every picture. I think we remember what the Thai house used to look like back in the day. It looked like an empty building. And, getting stuff back on the tax roll is always a good thing. We try to, it's kind of an interesting street with certain things when you get people in the middle of a snowstorm outside power washing equipment, you got a little different clientele of people around there, so it is what it is. Don does a great job, in my opinion, of what he does to try to keep things in line, but, we've done a lot with the whole property. I mean, from the outdated looks that it once had, we've done a lot with the old property, and I just like to see one step better, get a little closer to things looking more usable, This is, real quick, and it's not real important.
This you want
This is what it looked like back then. We know we live in an old village, we know there's a lot of old buildings, and we brought them a long ways. And I'd just like to continue to get them further. In current time, we got things looking a lot better. Nicer looking buildings, a little brighter looking, a little better than they used to look, so things came a long ways in 25 years, that's for sure. And it just would be helpful to do that. I don't know which way, if the board wants to think about, go by, look at my property, whatever, I could, I certainly would be, I'd be open for any ideas they would have, but just trying to keep things as nice as possible, as usable as possible. The way it is now, people park on all different sides of the street. If they straightened the sidewalk out, brought it closer to the street and ran it all the way down, I consider there's a snow shed involved. Obviously, South Bellevue is not as wide as Transit Road. There's not as much of a snow shed going on. There still would be enough. I have 2 bubbler systems going out. The one of them was damaged during the construction of the sidewalk. The one of them, you have pictures showing that the water spilling out on the sidewalk, which is a freezing problem, which is an issue in wintertime. I showed the mayor a video of it once before, and I showed Don a video of it once before. So there's only so much I can show them pictures and everything else, but just want to make things look better than they did.
So the
best photo in all that one was my 30-year-old son at 4 years old running next to one of the buildings there, because we love our kids, right? That's the.
I was going to ask if that was your assistant.
Absolutely. I don't know if he was running away from doing work or towards doing work, but my guess is that he's away from doing anything.
So explain to me, Dom, this paper you got here. It says proposal to straighten and correct sidewalk starting at the south end of the drawing. So are you moving the sidewalk to the curb? Well, there's probably no curb on that street, right?
There is no curb on the street.
So you're on the west side of those pine trees?
So I'm talking about starting south of my property, because if you look at it, the only place that the sidewalk goes like a hill, looks like a roller coaster, is south of my driveway. So if they would have brought it lower, closer to the street at that point, they wouldn't have had that hill in there. And at that point would have crossed my driveway near the bottom, which wouldn't have been a problem, because we know all driveways meet the street at the same elevation at some point. Crossing the driveway there and then going all the way down, it would go right to Cayuga straight without removing the pine trees. We know removing the pine trees is costly, but it's also an eyesore to get rid of them. By doing that, it would end up with a straight sidewalk. Everything's not identical on that street anyways. When you look behind the Camellia Gardens over there, that's a smaller sidewalk. It's not in line with the rest of them. Everything is not a picture perfect. Certainly, it's all commercial space on one side and it's residential on the other side. But in doing that, if the village could do the sidewalk, I would take care of the necessary blacktop repairs, whatever has to happen on my side. I understand there's only so much money and budgets to do things, but it certainly would eliminate the problems. I don't know, how else to eliminate things without, the way things are, it's terrible. And I didn't mean to flood you with pictures and information, but these are what some of the tenants said and what some of the things said. I'm sure at the pre-board meeting, you only had so much time to read things, but.
So between the two departments here, I mean, what's the way in? I mean, how close would it be to the road?
I can sympathize with Dominic's residents, especially with the driveway thing. The first time I saw it, I thought to myself, somebody's gonna bottom out on here with the snow and the ice. Obviously, there's definitely a safety concern.
How close would the sidewalk be to the road?
I don't know, I didn't see the picture, but no, I don't know. I mean, it's also a bad thing when you're pointing a sidewalk where you're gonna go down towards the road, you know, where you're gonna change, you know, where you're gonna alleviate it south of your property and bring it towards the road, you know, that's just some, asking for a bike to go, especially a little kid or something, go straight out into the road. You know, I mean, that's a concern too.
And on the opposite side of the street, further down, the sidewalk does go right on into the road, going south of where we are. That does go right to the
And we
road.
did adjust when we did it to where you wanted it, because we didn't have it where we put it, where it is now. We adjusted it to where you were happy with it.
Well,
And now you're not. What happens when we, if we do this?
I will-
I'm just gonna ask you a question.
Go ahead, yes.
What happens if we do this and you're not happy with it again?
Well, I don't think I would be unhappy with it if we were out there.
But you changed the forms when we did it. You changed the guy's forms when we did it to where you wanted it. And we told you it wasn't bad again,
Well,
back then.
yeah.
So,
That's not
Any-
necessarily the case. We probably have a better idea in one of these photos where that would have been done. We obviously had people working on that street that were a little bit, and Don would have a better idea of that were not the exact, above-board people. When you have people like this working across the street doing stuff at that hour,
Across the street
so.
is across the street.
Well, I'm just saying. that-
let's just wrap it up. We are
Sure, right,
twice the amount of
absolutely.
time. Anything from trustee Z?
I guess I want to get out and take a look at it. Anytime you talk about moving the sidewalk closer to the street, sends up a flag, I want to look at that.
Sure, sure. That's exactly how it is on Transit Road right in front. It's got a lot of high traffic flow and a lot
That
higher.
doesn't necessarily mean that it's right, right? I'll
But,
look at it. That's all.
Trustee Kraft?
Yeah, I'd like to do a drive-by.
You are? Okay.
I'm more like in-person visual, like, this is helpful, but like, I would like to
Sure.
see.
I invite everybody at their available time, if possible, to drive by the front, drive by the back, drive through my property. It's open for you to see. We take pride in what we got going on there. I like to have it nice for the people. In 3 generations of managing rental property, if you have things crappy, excuse the term, you get lousy people. If you have things spotlessly nice, you tend to get nice people. If you get people that don't want to hand in apartment references, they're probably not good people, but they don't have it. There's a certain way to, experience tells you what's going on with a lot of that stuff. And we just are trying to keep the good people in the village. 25 years of being there, I only had 2 evictions. So, I was fortunate with that, I guess, or picked out the right people, but we just want to keep good people around there. Certainly, we all know the way South Bellevue looks over in that area. It's not the nicest. We got junk on one side, boarded up house on another side. We're just trying to keep things looking nice, so it wouldn't be a problem if it was in the area going right. It would be a straight sidewalk going right to Cayuga, which would be better. I don't think anybody's in favor of taking the pine trees down. I think trees are beautiful. They're always nice to put up, not take down. It's
Deputy
been there
Mayor?
forever.
Anything?
If they're live.
Yeah, good. Thank you for putting the packet together so we can help see what the issue is. Definitely going to review it and also consult with the 2 departments, DPW and Code, to get a better understanding. So.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And attorney?
I don't think you want to hear from me, because I have some concerns about how our sidewalk law would interplay, where the boundary lines are, the obligations for repairs and how those shift, as well as the precedent this could set for other areas. But, I'm just one legal opinion and not a voter, so.
Well-
I do appreciate you putting everything together.
Yeah, I mean, there's one person that's not here tonight that is our village engineer, so we'll need to get in touch with Dave Britton, Nussbaumer and Clark, because he was instrumental in the whole positioning of that sidewalk, so.
My final comment is, as you look all around town and villages, you see sidewalks like that all over the place. They change according to what's needed at different areas, so. I appreciate the board's time. Again, I invite anybody to come by and look at it. I appreciate everybody's time tonight.
Okay.
Thanks, Dominic.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Thank goodness, I've been looking
All
forward
right.
to this.
Come on up, Paul.
Paul Crowder, 58 Argus Drive. There's a few things. At the last meeting, I brought up a thing about drones. Do any of our departments have drones?
Not yet.
Are they planning to?
I hope so.
I mean, it's a thing of the future.
Chief?
Police, fire,
Yeah, so we have a grant right now, and we're looking at buying a drone. We're gonna see, it might get cut out at this point, but we're definitely considering it.
So to the point, before Chief got here, we put OEM to take the classes. I'm not quite sure where RJ's at with it, but he's been studying.
okay, and do you know what the height regulations are with the?
I do.
I mean, we're close to the airport, and I mentioned at the last meeting, I'm on a flight path now with the revamping at a Buffalo airport,
All I can.
and they come down pretty low. At our summer concerts, at two of the concerts, there were drones flying overhead. I don't know if anybody noticed, but in fact, at one point, I think it was when Terry Buckwald was here, there were two drones. That also presents a problem. I mean, if there's more than one drone at a time, you got two separate controllers, anything can happen. So I would rather be proactive than reactive.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, to have a drone operator, you have to be certified, there's classes you have to take, and all that stuff's covered. I don't know the exact height, I do know that there's an area around the airport where your drone will be shut down, it won't fly. Right, so, because in my former position in another department, we had drones and we used them quite extensively, actually, and there's a radius around the airport where you can't.
And I think that's determined on certain days. I think you can go to a site and it could tell you when you can and can't use it.
Yeah,
At
and
what
you,
height.
and you can contact the airport, and
Yeah.
depending on what's going on, you
I
can,
mean, that was our resident that took the pictures of Fireman's Park recently. I know you probably hadn't seen them, but
No, I haven't.
just on Saturday. For certain days, he can't get up because of regulations. But, I mean, I'm sure that if we get to that point, but I don't believe it. You're not asking our PD to be enforcing. We don't do that.
No, I think that's FAA.
It's an FAA thing.
Don't we have any kind of local enforcement? You're not going to call the federal government to come to our little village and.
Well, that's
Start
what I
looking
was
for
gonna get into with you, Paul. It's something I looked into for another department as well, and it's regulated strictly by the FAA. They're really looking at these things, but, you know, for our purposes of getting a commercial drone, we have tighter restrictions, more extensive training, and I think local laws would be preempted by the federal regulations to try to regulate consumer drones. So I don't think we have any good answer for you on how we could help with that. It is out of our hands. We'll follow the rules, that's in our hands, but,
Yeah.
you know, consumer drones, I don't think there's anything we can do. I think we would be preempted, which means the federal laws say, this is what goes and you can't change anything.
Okay, thank you.
Also, if you want to come to Disney Springs with me and watch the drone show, which I happened to catch last week when I was on vacation, I think it might change your opinion on these
Vacation
things.
again?
It was incredible.
Oh, okay.
You want to come with me next time and see the drone show?
Sure, you pay all expenses?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm in.
At the Buddy Cop movie I'd watch.
The other thing I brought up was about
Will we give him
this,
an extra minute here?
30 seconds.
Go ahead.
Hang on, I got a picture for you.
the other thing I brought up was about the cryptograph, the problems we're having in Tonawanda. Do we have any codes or laws?
We haven't had the issue come up. I know you mentioned it last time.
Yeah.
I'll write it down again, because I forgot to take a look at local laws regulating cryptocurrency mines.
Yeah,
Plus he was on vacation.
yeah.
This isn't a traditional 9 to 5, Paul. As long as I'm here to talk to you, I'm hitting my
That's all it
hours.
counts. Again, Kenny wasn't here at the last meeting that I was at, but I wanted to thank him for restriping all the intersections with the white lines. I see they were doing it again today. Thank you for doing that. And I want to thank the board in general for our summer concert series. I think they were very well attended. Didn't cost the taxpayers anything with the sponsorship that you got, and I hope that we have them again next year.
What's the address so I can send you a sponsor form? What was it? For 54?
What's Sam's address?
Paul, look at this. It's the Death Star out of drones.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Like, look how cool that is. Yeah. He likes drones now.
Okay.
Let's see, another thing I was gonna mention, you mentioned O'Reilly Auto Parts. You know, they're putting another one next to Basil Chevrolet on Transit.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're
they're
aware of
entering the
that?
market.
That's pretty close to each other, I just thought.
I was under the impression that the other O'Reilly is going all the way down Transit in Elma.
No.
It's, no.
No.
Right here? Yeah.
Basil property.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure of that.
So it's Lancaster then, right?
Yeah,
Pardon?
That's Lancaster.
Yeah, that's Lancaster.
They approved that?
Village.
I thought there was a moratorium on
I
building.
have no, I just was curious as to why are they putting two so close together?
Yeah.
They're gonna beat out the Hortons.
Their meeting is
We're
tomorrow.
gonna have as many O'Reillys as we have Tim Hortons.
Tim Horton, all right.
Another thing you mentioned about recyclable products, batteries, small batteries like cell phone batteries or hearing aid batteries, watch batteries, you can recycle them at the Lancaster Library. I don't know if anybody's aware of that, but
We took them too, Paul, at our summer event, batteries of that
Here?
nature. We can recycle those, right.
all right. Let's see, I think that's about all I've got. Oh, the gas company, I've called them again about their terrible job that they did on putting in some fresh topsoil and grass seed. 4 times I've called them now. And if you want, I've got the subcontractor that does the landscaping. I got his phone number with me if you want it.
Sure.
I can give it to you.
Yeah,
and-
give it to us afterwards.
Yeah, to follow up. I mean, the grass they planted is just horrible grass. It grows 3 times faster than normal lawn grass. It's like pasture grass, I call it.
Okay.
It grows at a rapid rate, and the workmanship is awful. But I've got his number if you
Sure.
want to.
Yeah, we'll get that after the meeting.
All right,
Okay?
okay.
All right,
I think
thank
that's
you.
all I've got. Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Okay. With that said, we're going to move on to claims and accounts.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion, the claims and accounts have been audited by the Finance Committee and are approved for payment as follows.
From the general fund, $274,950.29. 0 from community development. Sewer fund, $2,695. Capital projects, $49,852.17, for a total of $327,497.46.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. And number 16 is the adjournment.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn the meeting tonight at 8:12 p.m.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried. Thank you, everyone. Next meeting.